Like to call the meeting of the Wayne County Commission to order. Make sure we have our technology right. All right, Madam Clerk.
The board is now open for roll call. Commissioner Kniezek has requested an excuse.
Our tablets aren't working.
I have a quorum present.
All right, thank you so much. Next item, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United
Please
States.
stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Invocation.
Today, we have the pleasure of having our invocation by Commissioner Al Haydus. Commissioner, if you'll please come up for the invocation.
Good morning, everyone. It's one thing I never thought it's part of the political position is to be reverend or imam or rabbi. But today, my prayer is from the bottom of my heart. I pray to God to give you the best of health, all of you in this room. I pray to God to guide you to the straight path to serve our people to the best of your ability. I pray to God to keep our freedom defender all over the world, to keep them safe, victorious. At the same time, I thank God for the great experience I went through in this great country. Raising a family, be able to serve the community, and be a friend to too many people in this room. It's my prayer for all of you. At the same time, I thank the Lord for many years, almost 40 years of public service through many different positions. Thank all those communities who support me. At the same time, I like to announce I will not seek re-election this year for my position. Doing that today to make sure to give time to enough good candidate who want to compete for the seat. In the end, I want to thank you all for your friendship, for your support. We work together. We agree on many things. We disagree on some of the things. And that it's the healthy way of doing business. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Al, for that, Commissioner Haydus, for that prayer. And you'll be with us for another year. We've enjoyed working with you, and we will continue to enjoy working for you throughout 2024. God's blessing to you always. Thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Move for approval. Support.
Been moved and supported. Are there any corrections to the journal? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
Report from the chair.
Just want to wish everyone a happy new year. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday season. Let us all remember the people who unfortunately did not make it to 2024. There were so many people who transitioned in the month of December. So we want to keep those families and those persons who were their loved ones in our prayers during this time. But of course, wish everyone a happy new year, prosperity, health, wealth, as we go through 2024. Next item.
Unfinished business, there is none listed. We're moving to offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are none listed. The next item is upcoming meetings.
Okay, please note the upcoming meetings and let the clerk know if there are any changes. We're going to go now to the addenda.
We're moving to the addenda for new business. Item number 5 is a resolution approving Joseph Palomera as Vice Chair of the Wayne County Commission.
There a motion?
Support.
Board here, but okay. It's been moved for Commissioner Joey Palomera to serve as Vice Chair of the Wayne County Commission. Please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. On to item number 6.
Item number 6 is a communication from the Honorable Raymond E. Basham resigning his 14th Commission District seat effective December 31st, 2023.
Moved by Commissioner Clark Coleman, supported by Commissioner Haydos. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, we're going back to new business.
We're going back to the agenda, page 2, requesting commission approval of appointment of Tosin Knight to the position of the Director of the Prevention and Diversion Services Division.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Melissa Fernandez, Director for Juvenile and Youth Services, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It is my pleasure to present to you today Mr. Tosin Knight for appointment of the Division Director of Prevention and Diversion for the Department of Juvenile and Youth Services. As we move towards our new department and our juvenile justice reform efforts, this division will focus on prevention and diversion with our youth in Wayne County. Mr. Knight has most recently, for a very short period of time, served as the Deputy Director of Youth Engagement for the Wayne County Juvenile Detention Facility. While he's been with us at JDF, he's successfully implemented a merit-based behavior system, he's overhauled the student handbook, and he's established, most importantly, a youth council in efforts to incorporate the voices of the young people in the advancement and transformation of the detention experience. Mr. Knight has been celebrated for several achievements, including being featured in Black Magazine and was selected as Michigan Chronicle 40 Under 40 honoree. Mr. Knight is a product of several Detroit public schools. He received his Bachelor's of Arts degree from the Oakwood University and a Master's in Educational Leadership from the University of Michigan. He serves as a deputy manager for District 4 for Mayor Duggan and in the mayor's office, where he was responsible for working with community organization, businesses, and religious groups on fighting blight, lowering crime, and handling citizen complaints. Mr. Knight has also served as the Dean of Culture for Detroit Public School at East English Village High School. There's a poem that I want to share with everyone briefly called The Invocation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And there's a piece in there that reminds me of Tosin. I've known Tosin since he was probably 19 years old. It says, "It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what it needs to be done for the children." Madam Chair, today we have with us our new JDF and Juvenile Youth Services leadership team, but most importantly, we have some young people from the community that have come to support Mr. Knight. We're very excited about this opportunity as we move towards advancing the juvenile justice reform efforts in Wayne County. And I present to you Tosin Knight.
Mr. Knight? Good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning. Good morning. I am thankful just for this opportunity. I'm thankful to Mr. Evans, Chief Reinhardt, and also I cannot give enough thanks to Melissa for all the support that she's given me over the years. As if you know me, I grew up in Highland Park, Michigan. I got kicked out of like 13 different schools. And I went to Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama. And one of the things I was telling the team today was they instilled into you that you enter to learn and you depart to serve. And one of the main things I've done since coming back home from college is that I wanted to give back to young people and give them, that representation that they need and the support that they need to be able to change the trajectory of their lives. And I know with you all support and working with Melissa on a consistent basis that we'll be able to do that. I'm so thankful for that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Knight. We want to recognize the young people who are here. You all can stand in the back, young people, young men in the back. Is it just men and women? Thank you for coming down to support Mr. Knight. Well, let's make a motion. First, we have a motion by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Commissioner Killeen, discussion by commissioners. Any discussion? Let me ask you this, Mr. Knight. The youth council that you started over in JDF, can you tell a little bit about that?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
what the benefits have arisen because of that effort?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things that we thought was very important is to be able to engage with the youth. And so when I first got there, I didn't know a lot of youth. So I asked the staff to identify some youth that they see as leaders in the building. And so what we do is on a weekly basis, we gather them, we provide them food so they have a great incentive to come. And we just talk about the things that are going on. So things that you might not hear from staff, they can tell you like, oh, our hygiene kits, we need more hygiene kits, or this is happening on the pod. You might want to come and pay it more attention. So it just gave us a lot of more insight about what's actually going on in the pod when we're not on there. So it was very helpful. And a lot of kids feel like their voice has been heard. And, they talk about that a lot. And I think that's so important, is to be able to hear the youth voice and be able to respond to their issues. So they also gave input on the student handbook as well. So that was very important as well.
That's an awesome idea, because I think that empowers them, as you stated, and that they feel more part of the group. So I think with that, their behaviors will dictate that as well. So fantastic. Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to commend you on the work that you're doing and that you're going to do with our young people, especially from the background that you have. You can really touch them and inspire them, and they know that they can end up just like you. So that's a great thing. So congratulations.
Thank you. I truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Commissioner Killeen?
I don't know, just like Tucson, I don't know. I'm taking the floor today to support the appointment of Tucson Knight. I've known him for quite some time on the east side now, and his work over at East English Village, which I guess now has Finney back in the name.
Yes. East English
It's
Village
like Finney at East English Village, or East English Village or Finney or something anyway. And I'm familiar with your work with the young people over there. And of course, I'm also familiar with the young people on the east side. So congratulations on all the work you've done, and look forward to working with you here in this role. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Kinlock?
Yes, I too stand here and just very proud of all of his accomplishments. As you heard here this morning, he's a visionary. He's somebody who thinks outside the box. He has consistently been engaged in trying to be proactive in these young people's lives. So he's been doing it since even his youth, and it's just proud. I'm just very proud to see him here. And I know that he's going to be an incredible addition to the team in addressing the needs of the young people over there. So congratulations. Thank you.
Any additional discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Mr. Knight. We look forward to your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item number 2 is requesting commission approval of retroactive amendment number 2 to a comparable source professional services contract with a to be determined number of 3-month options to renew between the Charter County of Wayne and the Michigan Association of Counties.
Aaron?
Through the chair, we are asking for a time-only extension on the MAC contract to help while we go through or work towards the turnover date of the CJC. The MAC team has been helping to finalize contracts that are related to CJC, helping shepherd through the amendments on existing contracts to add the CJC to those, in addition to running the solicitations for any services that need to be purchased. This contract is retroactive. It took us a little bit of time to determine if we were going to move forward with the time-only extension. And given that we haven't yet met the turnover date, we decided that yes, it was in our best interest to just continue with this time-only extension.
Been moved by Commissioner Dobbs, supported by Commissioner Baidoon. Any discussion on this item? Discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Thank you.
Commissioner Scott? Motion carries.
Next item, please.
And I have Commissioner Palomero as an abstention. Item number 3 is requesting commission approval of retroactive amendment number 2 to a revenue generating concessionaire agreement with 2 5-year options to renew between the Charter County of Wayne and A&A Deli.
Here to speak on this contract? On.
Good morning
Morning.
to the Chair, Vice Chair, and Commission Board. This is Darrell Jones from Facility Management and Planning Department. I'm Director of the Facility Division and here to answer all your questions today.
Okay, so, oh, bye, everybody.
In terms of
This is the deli that's inside of
Frank Murphy
Frank
Hall of
Murphy,
Justice.
and this is an extension of that contract?
Yes, ma'am.
And then they were selected to be the new vendor at the CJC?
They are.
So this just goes until we are out of that and then
That is
move over
correct.
to-
It's an extension to move over to the CJC.
Okay. Commissioner Kinlott?
Just wanted to say, even though Commissioner Basham isn't here, this is something that we've often said.
He's here.
Well, not on the commission. Yeah, he's here. But still wanted to say, you always have and be prepared for an explanation for retros, as well as comparables, the source contracts. And so, because we had actually talked about this a while ago, so
Yes,
we
we
knew that this was coming.
Yes,
So
it's one extension, and basically we're increasing from 236,000 to 254,000.
And that's the explanation. Thank you.
But to that end, it's dated November 17th, and just let us know why it's here today as opposed to
It's here.
December.
As far as the extension, it's basically the process of getting this all completed through the process of necessarily sending out the documentation. And A&A Deli had some indications of problems with necessarily manufacturing at the CJC. So that took a while in order to get that cleared up from the process of that, which means that basically this contract is actually going to be extending for the next 5 years. And I think it's scheduled for September to 2024.
Right, any additional questions? Hearing none, please vote. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Next item.
Item number 4 is requesting commission approval of a retroactive professional services contract between the Charter County of Wayne and the Segal Company, not to exceed $983,340 to provide the county with health and welfare benefits consulting services.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
My name is Precious Walton. I'm the Assistant Division Director of the Benefits Administration. The Benefits Division is requesting approval of this retroactive professional services contract with the Segal Company. Siegel Company provides the county with health and welfare benefits consulting services. An RFP was issued in February of 2023, and the Siegel Company received the highest score. This contract, if approved by the commission, is not to exceed $983,340, which is $196,608 annually. The contract is scheduled. The contract is. The contract is scheduled to start September 22nd, 2023 through September 30th of 2028. This contract is a retroactive contract. Please know it was not the intent of our division to have services provided outside of the contract being approved first. This was an oversight on our part as we had secured a contract extension in which we felt we had enough time to properly negotiate the contract as well as go through any revision period that was needed. Unfortunately, that negotiation process and revision process took longer than what we expected. That coupled with the other demands of 2023 with the negotiation of additional benefits caused this contract to be submitted after it had expired.
Provide health and wellness benefits and consulting services. So can you kind of just bullet point exactly what they'll be doing?
So what Siegel does for us is Siegel primarily makes sure that we are in compliance with various laws, ACA, as well as they help us by researching various benefits, changes, actually running that information, comparing what could be feasible in regards to changes or adding new benefits to the county with what is actually out there in the market.
Mayor Anderson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that comment is close to what I was going to be asking, what service they're actually going to be providing as far as sounds like they may be working to make sure, providing us information and consulting for us to determine how we compare to similar positions in the competitor market that we have to compete with for employees. Do you foresee that we're going to get a report as to what they're doing? I mean, what they're going to provide to us? Because I think that's really important to know, are we being competitive with other counties, cities in different positions? Is this going to be the entire gamut as far as the employees in the county?
So what Siegel does for us is more of, and we can have them to provide us with a report, but let's say for negotiations, as we are currently in that right now, when the unions come to us asking for us to consider different benefit changes, they make sure that they compare what the unions are asking us compared to other municipalities that are comparable to us, do that research and let us know whether or not that is something that's feasible for the county, as well as provide us with, the budgetary information that we would need.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Killeen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think a few have been answered. Have we ever had a consultant in this area before, as far as you know?
Siegel has been with us since 2018. And then prior to that, I believe Cornerstone was with us in either 2015 or 2016.
But this is a new contract.
Yes, this is a new contract for Siegel.
So the scope of services, because it was bid out, is different than the previous Siegel contract?
No.
They just got to the end of their contract and we bid it out again.
Exactly.
Is this going to be looking at all jobs, all classifications in the county?
Yes, it just depends on our needs. So whatever the county needs in regards to research and being advised of the different benefit options, they look at all of the jobs, all of our salaries, whatever is related to that request.
When I saw this on the agenda, Madam Chair, I was thinking about our wages and benefits task force of the commission. And with this new contract coming, I hope that hasn't been officially disbanded yet, but I would think if that task force is still in existence, that would be a good way for the executive branch and the legislative branch to have a conversation about what is being found, right? And what possible things would result from that. So I hope that hasn't been officially disbanded and that would be the vehicle for our commission voice in these wages and benefits matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional discussion? Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I may, through the chair, go to Commission Counsel. There was some concern about the liquidated damages provision not being included in this contract. And it looks like you guys were going to evaluate that, and I'm wondering what happened with that.
Through the chair to this honorable body, as indicated at our last meeting, there were a few contracts where there were some concerns raised regarding the liquidated damages and the requirement under the procurement ordinance. As I indicated then, it's my understanding that Corporation Counsel is reviewing this issue with regards to all types of contracts to determine when it is necessary. They will come back with a recommendation and possibly a request to change the procurement ordinance. I am still waiting to receive that information from Corp Counsel, but we will keep you posted.
Okay, thank you. So if we vote on this today, that's not going to include it, but in the future, they're looking at.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kinlock.
Just from a point of clarity, so this is just basically a contract that would allow for them, Siegel, to provide consulting services for specific positions that you may need some research on? Or is it they're doing a study of, you're engaging them to do a study on all positions within the county of Wayne? Or is it just upon a request to review the comparable salaries and benefits associated with a specific request?
This commissioner is for just the health benefits, but you can expound.
Okay,
This
I'm
is
just
not
saying,
on salary.
right.
This is not on position.
Forget
Yeah.
salary, but I'm just talking about what is the scope? Does it include all,
Cross,
doing a
Blue
study of
Shield.
all the positions? Or is it a specific request, you know, for a specific position, I should say?
So for example, in regards to the 2023 benefit improvements, Siegel worked very heavily on those for 2023. They basically did all of the research in regards to whether or not this was feasible, what did other municipalities do, what could we do to put us more in line with other municipalities?
Just on the benefits?
So just on
Okay,
benefits.
I got it. I'm glad I needed that clarity.
And again, this is just on the benefit packages, not the positions and salary, like a salary study. We, I think, are still in the process of doing that, but this is just on the health benefits. HAP versus BCM versus all the other medical benefits and benefits. Any additional discussion on this item? All right, hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. We can go on to next item on page 4.
We're on page 4 of the agenda, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 2 items listed.
There a motion? Moved by Commissioner Baydun, supported by Commissioner Haydus. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. I'm sorry, discussion? Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, this is where I just wanted to add to this a certificate of graduation completion for Kiana McCormick. Daughter, she graduated from Western Michigan University.
Oh,
So I wanted to make sure I acknowledge that.
absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Very good. And the clerk will note that.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Any further discussion on testimony, resolutions, and certificates of appreciation? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Item memoriams.
We're on memoriams. There are 4 names listed.
Spoke to some of these, but again, we want to continue to keep the family of Deputy County Executive Assad Turfy in our prayers for the loss of his brother. We want to make sure that we just continue to lift him up and lift his family up in prayer for that loss. Commissioner Clemente?
Madam Chair, I just want to add a name, Joseph Masella, best friend of my father-in-law who passed away. He was a longtime Lincoln Park resident, very close to our family, and his last wish was to have a bowling pin from our establishment in his casket with him, and it was there. And so we're very sad and express our sympathies to his family.
Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also just wanted to say and send my condolences to Beverly Watts. Her father passed. They lived in my district. And yes, just lost her mother last year, and now her funeral is actually today, going on right now. So thank you.
Thank you. And I did get a chance to see Beverly yesterday at the funeral home and gave her all of our love and support from the commission. Commissioner Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, I want to extend my sincere condolences to Deputy Wayne County Executive Assad Turfy on the loss of his brother. There was a big and strong showing by Wayne County and other elected officials that came to the mosque. And I want to thank the chairwoman and Commissioner Haydous for being there on Sunday, which was the Memorial Day, when we presented the memoriam resolution on behalf of all the commissioners. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you for coordinating and all that you did to support the family at that time as well. I'll just make one other acknowledgement of Charles Small. Charles Small was the executive director for Don Bosco Hall, a very prominent agency throughout Wayne County and Detroit. They had a contract with Wayne County for a bit, but they opened up a community center in my district about 15 years ago, and it really transformed the Cody Rouge area of my district. He passed away a couple of weeks ago when the funeral was last week, so I want to continue to keep his family in our prayers during this difficult time. Seeing no others, everyone please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you go to the addenda item number 7.
Item number 7 on the addenda, filling of the District 14 vacancy.
Is there a motion? Is there a motion? Commissioner Dodd?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to appoint Alex Garza to fill the District 4 vacancy.
It's been moved by Commissioner Dobbs, supported by Commissioner Clemente. Any discussion from commissioners on this motion? Hearing none, please vote. I'm sorry, Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Clean? Let's push a button. Go ahead, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
I just wanted to say a few words about the appointment process. And I think I will just say this, of course, we don't have to discuss it today, but I just would prefer in the future that we at least look at a more official process. Oh, the charter is vague in how we appoint, and I just think it would behoove us to have a more transparent process so that goes. Right now, it's one that I just don't totally agree. Thank you.
Mr. Khalil?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I have a nomination. How does that fit into our process today?
Madam Council?
Through the chair, currently there is a motion and support on the floor. Once that is voted on, if it's adopted, then an appointment would be made, and so it would not be appropriate for additional nominations. If this motion that's currently before you fails, and then another motion would be appropriate, and at that time, another nomination would be appropriate.
Parliamentary stuff. I'm going to echo a little bit what Commissioner Baker McCormick said. We have a long-standing tradition, as far back, I think, as anybody can remember, that when a member of the commission retires in the middle of their term, they bring forth a name to replace them. And as far as I've known, the commission has always approved that name. So, but none of this is written down. So now we're doing something a little bit different than this commission ever has. And so in a parliamentary move, we're not going to be able even to hear the name that was put forth by the former commissioner for consideration on this floor. So I do think it's way past time that we actually pass an ordinance delineating how these vacancies are going to be filled so that the public and everybody knows. And I would think if we went to court, judges would say, hey, past practice, that's the way you do it, even if you haven't written it down. You've always done it that way. So I'm a little bit nervous about changing horses in midstream on this, Madam Chair, but I do think we need to draft an ordinance that clarifies and codifies what happens when there's a vacancy when a commissioner retires midterm. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional discussion on this item? None, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item,
Public comments.
public comments. Anyone on Zoom? One on Zoom. Any emails? From the audience? Commissioner Basham?
Funny how after 13 years here and watching folks like Burton Leland appoint who he wanted to replace him and others appoint who they wanted to replace. And it's always been a process that the outgoing commissioner appoint who they wanted to finish their term, which is only a matter of months. But for somebody outside the district to appoint somebody in the district, for me, that don't make sense either. If you don't know anybody in the district who I nominated, who wasn't like my personal friend, but somebody I had watched and acknowledged, a Army vet, a Purple Heart recipient, a retired police officer, and he was currently on the Taylor City Council till he withdrew, thinking that my appointment would actually let him finish my term and then he could run. So I'm really, really disappointed with some of my colleagues. I didn't say all, that they all of a sudden, from going from tradition to and respecting the fact that this is who I nominate in my district, that somebody outside of my district would nominate somebody for that appointment. I think it's wrong, and I just wanted to go on a record of saying it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Butch Ramick. I was one of the nominees by Mr. Basham, who I have a lot of respect for. It's very respectful to stand in front of all of you, no matter how you voted. I'm a big boy. I've been around a long time. I have not only served this nation, but I have served this country. And I will say this, I've always taken the oath, as all of us have, to support the Constitution of the United States of America. In that Constitution, Article 15, it states we all have a right to vote. Nowhere in that does it state how I have to vote. Whether it be a party or whatever, I will always vote for what I think is right for the people. I've always been known, and my people in my city never questioned me who I was, even though I'm a Blue Dog Democrat. That gave me the right to vote. When I served this nation, I had a right to vote. Nobody tells me how to vote, and that's been my stance forever. And I'm sorry, it's because I didn't vote the right way for some people, but that's just the way I was raised, and the military family traveled all over this country. But I just want you to know it's an honor for those that I have met. I just wished more of you had asked questions. You had an opportunity to ask me many questions. I wouldn't lie to you. You want to know how I vote? I'll tell you. And I've always been that strong. But I do thank you, no matter how you voted. I'll be back in November. Thank you.
Thank you for your service to our country, sir. Thank you for coming down today. Any additional public comments from the audience?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Commission. Alex Garza, Taylor resident, former state representative, former member of the Taylor City Council and chairman of the Taylor City Council. I want to thank the Board of Commissioners for appointing me to fill the vacancy of the 14th County Commission District. I have years of service, of course, to my community, the Downriver community, and I very much look forward to working with each and every one of you to represent to the best of my ability the communities of Taylor, Brownstown, Woodhaven, Gibraltar, and Rockwood to the best of my abilities for Wayne County to move forward. So I want to thank everyone here for those who supported me and those who didn't. I look forward to working with each and every one of you in order to effectively represent my district and move the county forward as always. Thank you so much, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you so much. We look forward to working with you. Thank you, Mr. Garza. Any additional comments from commissioners? No, not commissioners, we're not commissioners. We're on public comments. Any additional comments from the public? Any emails, Madam Clerk?
No emails were received.
All right. All right, next item, please.
Reconsiderations,
There are none.
remarks by members,
Remarks by members. Remarks by members. Remarks by members. Okay, I have a few remarks. Yes, we will look into the appointment process to make it more transparent and clear. The way that we've done things should be looked at. And we'll look at that to see if it makes sense to do it that way or come up with new rules. Second, new appointments will be coming out later this afternoon. So please look at your emails for that. There'll be some changes to committees. Different assignments are made, will be made, have been made, but they will be rolling out to everyone by 5 o'clock today. Please respect the decisions that I've made in these committee appointments. I want to make sure that we all continue to serve the residents of Wayne County, and that's most important. Regardless of what title you may have on a committee, regardless of what committee that you're on, I ask that you respect my decision and just serve to your greatest ability, because it is an honor to be on this Wayne County Commission. No matter if you're a chair, vice chair, member at large, whatever it is, just to serve on this commission is an honor. So look forward to seeing those new appointments. And there are quite a few different shuffling of titles and chairmanships. So looking forward to that by 5 o'clock today. Again, I want to wish everyone a happy new year and make this a great year on the Wayne County Commission. We had a wonderful year last year. I anticipate us having a great year this year as well. Commissioner Haydos, you want to speak, sir?
I just want to say a couple words to Commissioner Basham, who I met when he was in the state Senate. I learned good thing from him, and I learned some bad thing too. He's not perfect, but I enjoy work with him and the commission. As I mentioned earlier, we always work together. We agree, disagree, but we part of the same family. And I will miss you, and I wish you the best of health.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I agree with my colleagues. We probably should revisit this appointment process. To my friend Ray Basham, I want to thank you for your outstanding public service record. Mr. Remick, thank you for putting your name forward. There's an election this year. And to the newly appointed Mr. Garza, I know Mr. Garza. The reason why I abstained is I'm a man of my word. I gave Commissioner Basham my commitment that I would vote for his replacement. That's always been the practice. But this is in no way against you, Mr. Garza. I look forward to working with you. And I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy new year, a prosperous and a healthy one. And I hope this year, 2024, let us strive for a world where kindness and compassion reign supreme. And may we continue to fight for justice and equality for all, including the people of Palestine. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional remarks by members? Hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. You went. You in trouble.